Hey guys, this is Ashton with MuseThemes.com. Today we're really excited to introduce our new Snipcart widget. It's a brand new, very versatile and customizable e-commerce widget from Muse, and it's got some really awesome features that we think members are really going to like. The widget uses individual customizable buttons, so your store can be arranged exactly how you like, and puts a plethora of styling capability in your hands as the designer. The cart button is persistent when used on the master page, and product images and descriptions can be built however you like. Whether you want to incorporate them with a rapid reveal or other gallery widget, Snipcart is completely adaptable and allows you as the user to design and structure your store in limitless ways. Another cool component of the widget is the logging in and logging out function. Now, the user's not required to log in and out to complete a sale, but it's certainly handy for return users, and it's the only e-commerce widget we have that incorporates this as a completely separate function from the checkout process. Now, the first thing you need to do is create an account on the Snipcart website. It's completely free to sign up, and all you need is an email address and a password. So once you're logged in, simply click this hamburger icon on the top left of your browser to access your dashboard and account settings. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but definitely take some time to poke around and check out the options available in the Snipcart backend. Now, one thing you are going to need from your account is something called an API key to link it to your Muse project. Now, we're going to come back here shortly, but first let's jump into Muse and take a quick look at the different components of the widget and how to set it up. Now, the first thing to do is to drag the widget out onto the page, and you'll see many different components here, and it might look like a lot at first, but it's really very simple. On the right side here, you'll see 4 buttons that come with this widget. Now, the first one here, Add to Cart, this is a component of this widget and a button in and of itself. You're going to have one of these for each of your products for sale. It's very easy to copy and paste this component as many times as need be, and there are some great styling options included, which we'll get into in a moment. Below that are 3 pre-made custom buttons for each of the login, logout, and view cart functions. They're already linked up with graphic styles, which will be automatically added to your graphic styles panel, but you're not required to use these. You can of course customize these to your liking or create new ones from scratch using state buttons, text boxes, or rectangles of any kind. These starter buttons here are just included so the widget will function right away, so you can drop in your API key and start testing things immediately, but of course you're welcome to build from scratch and customize to your liking. Let's take a look at this first widget component. This is the Snipcart master component, and this must be included on any page of your site that you're using any button on for this widget, whether it be your cart button or a login button, anything. This master component is what loads the necessary JavaScript and CSS files for Snipcart as a whole to function on your site. Inside the settings panel, you'll see the very first field here is the API key. This is where you're going to pull from your Snipcart account, and I'll show you where to do that in just a moment. It also contains all the master styling controls for fonts and colors for the entire widget. Now, this widget has to be on any page that the store is functioning on. So if your site needs a persistent shopping cart on all pages, you could place the Snipcart master and the view cart widget on the same master page. And then from there, the add item buttons you can put wherever you like within the site. So now you can click these font settings and color styling drop-downs here for all your styling options. I'm not going to go over each one in detail, but you can see that the customization is very flexible, and we've provided some font options here to get you started. If we take a look at our live demo and click a function like login, the resulting pop-up box shows a variety of different colors with the buttons and headers. These are all the different kinds of things you can style up in this widget component. Now, these next 3 components are all for the individual shopping functions of the site, and there's only one entry field in each of these panels. This is where you're going to enter the graphic styles to link to the buttons that you're using. The Snipcart login and logout functions. Again, it's not required for users to make a purchase, but it is really handy if you have customers returning to your store. And lastly, the view cart component, which of course opens your shopping cart. This can be placed on a body page or a master page if you want it consistent throughout the whole site. So now I'm going to click over to a demo project file that Christopher from our team has already put together. And as we poke around, you'll see our master component is the first thing here on top, as well as a login and logout component. Additionally, he's got 2 uses of the view cart component. This first one being a fixed cart button. It's got a graphic style called view cart fixed, which you can see matches the graphic style of the cart icon here on the top right, that he's created with a simple rectangle element with curved edges and an image fill with this icon. The one below is used in just the body of this page using a graphic style called view cart, which matches the one down below over here, which is created using just a text box. Now, another note I want to make, because we do get a lot of inquiries and support about this. It's good practice to always use graphic style names that have all lowercase letters and no spaces. If you use actual spaces and capital letters, it can sometimes confuse the browser and can prevent functionality in some instances. So now let's jump back over to the Snipcart website, and I'll show you where we get this API key. Now, once you're logged in from any page on your dashboard, you're just going to click the small profile icon here in the upper right corner. This opens the account sidebar, and down near the bottom you'll see an option for API keys. Now when you click this, you'll get your test API key, and you can use this while you're building your site and testing it in browsers, all the way up until it's ready to go live. When you're ready to make your store live, you're just going to want to visit that slider that's at the top of the browser there that says Live Test, and you're going to slide it over to Live. If your payment gateway and Snipcart is all set up, then you'll be given your live key, and you'll just want to copy and paste that live key and replace the test key in the widget settings panel. Now lastly, let's cover how to add a new Add to Cart button or new product button. It's actually really easy to do, and you can start by duplicating any of your pre-existing Add to Cart buttons. You can do this by copy and pasting or simply holding down Alt on your PC keyboard or Option on your Mac keyboard, and clicking and holding the button and dragging downward. So now we'll pop into the settings panel and take a look. So first up is our product information. It's important to note that unlike other e-commerce widgets, you're actually going to create this information yourself here in the widget, and it can then be imported into Snipcart later. This is backwards from most widgets, where it's usually generated on the back end and entered into the widget afterwards, but this way is actually pretty cool. So I'll make a new item ID, I'll call it item-02. Item name, we'll go ahead with featured winter look. Item price, we'll go $250 for winter because it's trendy. Now for my URL. You're going to need to enter the actual URL of the page that the button is going to exist on. But if your store is a single page site, or if your store only exists on one page of your site, you only need to use the main domain of the website. For example, I could just use http://www.MuseThemes.com if my whole store existed on only one page. But if I have products on multiple pages, then you need to enter the specific URL for that page, such as http://www.MuseThemes.com/myproduct.html. And lastly, here is your item description, and you can revise this to your liking. Now down here are 3 different styling categories, which I'll go through very quickly. Button styling will allow you to add padding and fill colors, opacity changes, etc. It's currently set to get this thin white oval outer stroke that you're seeing. Button image, you can enable or disable this, and it allows you to upload a graphic of your choice. And currently it's set now to display that shopping cart icon that you can see, and you can adjust the size of that here as well. And lastly, button text. Pretty self-explanatory. You can type a custom text here or leave it blank altogether. I'll go ahead and type winter fashion. Gotta be all about that fashion. And below that is the styling options with color, size, and spacing, as well as font families, which we've included a few here to get you started with some options. So now I can go ahead and preview this in the browser. And you'll see our new button reflected here. And I'll go ahead and go through the product purchase steps just so you can see, since this is still in test mode. I'll click on our new fashion product here, and that'll display in our cart at 250 big ones. And I can click next step to check out. And I'll be prompted for my billing info. I'll just put something generic for now. Ashton. Just put an example sample street here. I'll put Los Angeles, California, and a zip code, and an email address. Now, if I hit next step, it's going to prompt me for my payment info, and it's already going to have some fake temporary payment info in here for test mode, but you can at least see the process. And last step, we'll confirm. And there we go. I am all set for wintry goodness. Now, lastly, I want to go over something that I mentioned earlier. Since you create and add all the individual product information here in Muse, this can be easily imported into your Snipcart portal. So if you go into the website, from your left sidebar menu, simply click Products. Now over here to the right, you'll see this Fetch button, and you can use this to import the products that you've added onto your live site. And as you can see, a few have already been added here on our end. I also do want to mention that a lot of times the websites we feature here in our tutorials do end up getting overhauled and end up looking different down the line. If any of you have a hard time acquiring your API key or navigating or anything at all, don't hesitate to let Snipcart know or let us know, and we'll be happy to assist. So that is our Snipcart widget, guys. It's a really awesome, very versatile e-commerce widget, and it's the first of its kind here at Muse Themes in regards to styling and a persistent shopping cart. There are a lot of e-commerce platforms to choose from in the Muse world, but this is a great one for those that don't want to be confined to default buttons and colors or any kind of store-in-a-box formats. This option is also great for customizing to follow the format and design of the site you're actually building around it. So we really do hope you like it, and of course, if you need any assistance at all, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great day.